Paul Pogba, Will, one of our guys.
Yes.
One of our generation. A lazy millennial like us. This guy is really bad publicity for our generation.
Yeah. He's
all the time in the world, wasted it.
But you know what I would have said?
Yeah.
You know what I think would help him? If he was jacked beyond belief.
Yeah, if he was even stronger.
Stronger, bigger, if he had more creatine and protein in his diet. But he went too far. He's currently banned or under investigation.
Oh, he's fucked. He's fucked. I think I called him with this summary that like his career was not going to come back from this. Like he was just going to peter out and he was going to retire at like 32.
He never really recovered from the allegations that he had buried a hyena under Old Trafford.
Look, I mean, it'd take a stronger man than me to come back from that, but he definitely isn't, you know?
Yeah, the whole thing with his brother holding him at machine gun point for money or whatever that was about as well.
The witch doctor was involved.
The witch doctor thing. He's had a tough run of it.
Look, this is the thing, you know, you can pick your friends, you can't pick your family.
Yeah.
You know, he has that kind of family situation.
Yeah.
It does explain a lot. Genuinely, it's one of those things like,
he's got a lot in his mind that's not like football.
This is why you're not like, you know, focused all the time. Because there's like people who are like looking for handouts and people who are trying to drag you back, you know.
Yeah.
But he got done for
testosterone.
Exorbitant amounts of testosterone.
Which
in his
I don't
body.
think I've seen players get done for doping, and I've seen like even like fighters and boxers get done for doping.
Yeah.
But it never just says testosterone. So his levels must be through the fucking roof.
Yeah, there was that female runner from South Africa who got done for like a small amount. I think it was like just over. But this apparently has just been like, you're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Are you trying to get caught? You
know?
Now
he's had a string of bad injuries, so I'm assuming
recovery is
probably like, I'll be fine. You know, I'm not playing. And they were like, whoa, not allowed.
Either that, Will, or he wants this.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious he's not trying to hide this. He's pumped out full testosterone. It's like, whoa, what's going on? He's gone crazy.
You have to leave Juventus.
You're out of the game.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. Who's this?
Who's number 30?
Oh my God! It's Pogba. Pogba's making his way to the ring. He's making a beeline to the ring.
Good Lord, look at the size of him.
Professional wrestler in 6 months. He's going to be huge. Like, oh my God.
That's the move.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what I'd do.
He's got nothing left. Come on. He's never win the Ballon d'Or. But he might win the Intercontinental Championship.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama!
This is a
Shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense!
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all
Plenty
the
of
time.
time, no problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. International edition.
Yes.
A little bit of French there for you, Will.
Nice.
That's edition
Topical,
in English.
yeah.
Neil Poix from our trip to Paris.
I think, was it a Patreon episode last one we did, where I think at the end of it you said, we might get all 6 points here.
Hey, a lot happened. From when we recorded the last episode, Evan Ferguson was fit and just the back of a hat trick.
That was it, yeah.
And then in the meantime, we lost Evan Ferguson. He was gone for both games. We went to Paris and, you know, I mean, look, I felt numb after the game.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are you meant to do with that? Like, do you know what I mean? You're not meant to, feel angry about that? Feel like, oh, what you meant? What you doing out there, Kenny? You know,
get it together.
Sorry, Mark Griezmann. So like, we can all see like every single one of the
they're
players
much better than
is
us.
better than every single one of ours. Like, there's no formation. No, that's one of those games. 99 times out of 100,
yeah,
they win. Like, you know, you're talking fucking like Doctor Strange levels of like realities in which we win that game.
That's a game where if we win, there's serious question marks about Deschamps going forward. He's gone.
I tell you what, look at that team. I have serious question marks over Deschamps. One World Cup.
Yeah. Now, the last one, they fucking gave it a good go against Argentina.
In the end.
Yeah.
In the end. But you know what it is about that World Cup final and how they came back? In-game changes, Will.
Yes.
In-game changes. There'll be a big team of Kenny's, not Kenny Cunningham, Kenny
Stephen Kenny.
Stephen Kenny Cunningham. A big theme of Stephen Kenny. I can't say a big theme of Stephen Kenny's reign, or even this qualifying campaign, has been the in-game changes and stuff that's happening.
The lack of,
or the lack thereof. Like he can't see things happening.
Yeah.
Basically, the French game. I mean, there's not much that you can kind of say. Like that's just a team who are playing together for so long on the same manager for so long. They know exactly what they're doing. They were just like taking long shots on us.
Yeah, because also that's another team.
You know, because they obviously did a little bit of homework, said these guys let us take shots. And
just shoot from anywhere.
Pavard scored last day.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't scored a goal like that since the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, just take shots. And they did score one. Tuchemani with the goal. It was a good, like, it wasn't like, oh, fucking, he's fumbled it again.
No. It was a really good strike.
Because they're really good. Do you know what I mean? So, like, again, it's like you should have got close to him. Like, then they would have passed it around us, you know? And at the start, they were taking shots. And then the second half, they were cutting us up. They were cutting us up.
They were like, okay, let's have some fun here.
If they wanted to, like, if they needed to, if there was like a point situation, they needed to be as 5-4.
Yeah. That would have been, if they needed goal difference.
Oh, God. Like, it was moments like, it was like, you know, you're out of your depth. Like, this is not fair. These should not be.
We shouldn't be in the same group in these.
We should not be playing these in the same competition.
It's silly.
You know, this has been a long time since I've seen an Irish team that far off. And whatever. Part of that is their own fault, but part of that is that French team is just in the peak of their powers.
I saw, I think it was a tweet. I can't remember where I saw it, but someone said, is Mbappe the best player an Ireland team has ever played?
And kept scoreless?
Well,
over 2 legs? Hey?
Well, if you think because I know we played, say, Ronaldo in the last qualifiers, but it's an age in Ronaldo. Yeah. Very rare we actually come up against like the best player in the world at the peak of his powers.
Peak, yeah. I mean, did we ever play against Zidane?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, you're talking about like, oh, sorry, you mean all? I thought you meant all French players. No, I mean, all players. Yeah.
Now, maybe like back in the day, they might have came up against like Eusebio or something.
I don't know, but I think we play a lot more games now. So it's I'd say it's probably a good shout, you know.
He's up there because like it's very rare we're up against like one of the 2 best players in the world.
I feel like we were always in a group with Germany, like a few years ago for qualifying campaigns, and they were like a unit, like a really solid, with loads of like Schweinsteiger and Ozil when he was at his peak as well. A lot of good players, but never like had a stake as
didn't
best
have
player
that
in the
guy.
world.
Yeah.
Basically, anywhere from 2009, maybe 2008.
Basically, we didn't play Messi or Ronaldo for a long
from
time.
2008 to like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
it was Messi, Ronaldo, and he didn't play Portugal many times in qualifying, and he's always been not the same player for Portugal as he has been for his club team. Yeah, whereas Mbappe is equally as good, if not better, for France. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good shout. But I mean, that's the thing; they have so many good players.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just again he didn't score.
Like Tuchemani doesn't know to start for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
I guess that's crazy. That's crazy.
He's so good.
Also, I remember I made this whole thing about PSG changing their whole attack. Tell you what, man. Did you see how much money they've spent this window?
No, a lot.
Because they signed Dembele there.
Oh, yeah.
From Barcelona.
Not cheap, I would say.
Everyone was saying that Mbappe got rid of the South Americans, got his French brothers in there. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay, actually. This is exactly what I was looking for.
I think I've changed my mind.
They spent like 150 million on deadline day. They brought in Dembele and they brought in Randall Koulibaly.
Oh, yes. I have seen him.
24-year-old that they bought in on deadline day for 95 million euros.
I didn't even hear of that. 95 million.
Yeah, well, because they bought in Gonzalo Ramos.
Yeah. They
did a loan with Benfica, and then he goes back to Benfica, and they buy him outright for 65 million next year. That's great. 3 games, no goals, no assists, and they went, what are we doing?
Yeah, this is stupid.
We've had this money. Buy someone else. So that's as Ivan Toynbee say, football is brutal.
Yeah.
Gonzalo Ramos got 3 games. You're out, pal. He's in. Another French guy up front. So PSG have spent. I'll give you the entire
the summer,
the expenditure.
Yeah.
349 million.
Fucking hell!
I was like, they're changing their ways.
Yeah. They've learned from their past mistakes.
Now they made 149 million. So the overall balance is 200 million. But overhaul the squad, get rid of Messi, Neymar, Ramos, and brought in like Xavi Simons,
Dembele.
Lucas Hernandez, Dembele, Ugarte, and Kolo Muani.
It's just a whole new team.
A whole new team. But I just saw, they have Mbappe and they have Dembele playing up front for France, which should be the same thing playing for PSG. It's like, that is going to be trouble. I think, you know what? Not for the reasons I thought, but Champions League is back on for PSG.
Because they have the French team.
They have all the French team playing for them now.
Yeah.
They're going to be very good. Yeah, so I don't know. The French game, you go to Paris and lose 2-0, actually isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, yeah, we could have been hammered.
Now, watching the game, you're like, yeah, they should have scored more.
Yeah.
Could have had maybe 4, maybe definitely, but whatever. The tough one then is the Dutch game.
Yes.
At home. Again, we go back to the Irish optimism when these groups are made. Like, okay, France, we'd probably lose in France. Might get a draw, but we'll probably lose that. Even the most optimistic will say maybe a draw, but like no one's saying we're going to beat France in any place. No, we almost did draw. It wasn't that.
Yeah, we were good. Like
that's save Magic Mike at the end, remember?
Yes.
But this, like, again, this is a bit of luck. That goes in. That's a draw against France at home. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Now, if we had drawn that first game, I think they would have hammered us 6-0 to send a message.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably for the best we lost that game. But again, it doesn't matter because, we're not in any contention. But okay, right. Then you look at the Dutch game and you go, yeah, you know what? We'll beat them at home. That's what you're saying. Because the Dutch team aren't as good. They got beaten 3-0 by France in Paris.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of the gap. Again, if they could have done that to us if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They wanted that against the Dutch and they did. We started well against the Dutch. You put under pressure, Will.
Too well.
I tell you what, I would give you credit if you committed to it, Will.
Mm-hmm.
But Van Dijk is washed.
He's done, man. He's cooked.
You didn't say it though. You backed down. I was like, no, he's fucking the best in the world. He doesn't have the midfield. He had Frankie de Jong in front.
He's
What's his
cooked,
excuse this
man.
time? He's cooked.
He's cooked.
Fucking Adam Eden was putting him under serious.
Had him on skates.
Adam Eden had him on skates. He has terrible touch and he can't finish, but he was putting Van Dijk under pressure.
Yeah, he's 3 steps behind what he used to be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just used to like incredible longevity of people. Like he's had a good while. Like he was brilliant at Celtic, very, very good at Southampton. Career defining for Klopp, era defining at Liverpool, winning the league and Champions League, and I was like falling off. It's like, get him out,
finished.
What's that been? 10 years? Not enough. Look at Ramos, he's still going. So yeah, I mean, it's natural, I suppose, that he does drop off. But like, if Evan Ferguson was there,
oh stop,
what would he done to him? Will?
Oh stop, we would have won the game.
I would say I think Adam Eden is probably more athletic at this stage, and he's what 22, 24.
He's a bit more experienced.
A bit older, a bit stronger, I'd say, even than Ferguson at 18.
But he doesn't have the magic foot.
If you can combine the two, or even just wait a couple of years for Ferguson,
Well, speaking of Ferguson, someone else was gushing about him lately. Did you see Alan Shearer's article about him in The Athletic?
Trying to get him Newcastle, is he?
Do you want to hear some quotes?
Should we finish for the Ireland stuff?
Yeah, we'll finish. There we go. Well, just to capture how much we missed.
Okay, yeah, good.
So this is the level of player we were talking about, and it's not just us who's been saying these things. This is now it's the footballing world.
Yeah.
So Alan Shearer wrote in his article he apparently has.
Oh yeah.
Evan Ferguson is red hot. He has 4 goals in as many games for Brighton. The big clubs are circling, and his manager is predicting the Irishman can go on to become the top scorer in Europe. But it doesn't feel like hyperbole. Steer clear of injuries on the pitch and knobheads off it, and the world's at the lethal feet of his. Yeah, I like what I see.
You're on notice, knobheads.
Then he said, scratch that, I love it.
P.S.
Left foot, right foot, headers, pace, aggression, intuition. There's no weakness to his game. He's only getting better and better. He has the lot. That's the player we were missing in these 2 games.
No, listen, he was a big loss, but I think it was just. I think the whole thing it was a bit kind of rough and ready, wasn't it? The whole the approach, like we ran at them very early on and pressed them very high, and was like, I have not seen anything that leads you to believe that we can do this for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And the squad, I know for a fact, is not as good as the players we have starting. So
yeah, someone else who did not think we were capable was Stephen Kenny. Did you see him saying, no one plays like that against the Dutch?
Yeah, well, I wonder why.
Yeah. So then don't do that. Why was that your plan? If you're like, oh, that was never going to work.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't that good that I surprised you all by that. I was like, it's always this kind of like the style versus the substance, I guess. But we started off very like that one that It was very like, sorry, that one that Adamita kind of fouled in quotation marks Van Dijk.
Yeah.
I think it was just so like, there was no so little finesse in it. But it's like, that must be a free.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way he's done that.
how is that? Like, how is he barreled in? Just put him on so much pressure, he's kicked the ball away, now he's in. That doesn't make sense.
Liverpool's Van Dijk.
But it was like one of those things where they always say about players who like are very like light in their feet. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing next. Like, Adam didn't know what was happening there.
No.
So I'm just going at this guy. I'm going to put him under. I'm going to put him under legal pressure. And I'm hoping to get the ball. And that's what happened. But the ref's like, I don't know what happened there. Like, there's no way that he just got the ball from without actually doing anything correctly. And then he get the free. But like, there's another time we turned the ball over and he just touched. Like, or they all just roll the ball across. But I don't know. He's actually playing for Norwich. Well, he's played the first 2 games. He scored a goal. I think scored 2 goals for them.
Mm.
But it's just, I don't know, the level.
He's not the fucking like starting striker for an international team. Like, he's just not at that level.
Yeah. But that said, whatever, we get the penalty and then we keep pressing. I guess it's like, shock and awe. Get 2 goals.
It's working, boys.
Get 2 goals, blow it out of the water. They don't want to know what hit them,
Yeah.
And it wasn't fucking like Kenny ball either. It wasn't like passing around.
No,
like,
no, yeah.
It was like just fucking run at them, press them, just like get a scrappy goal, win a penalty, whatever it takes,
Yeah.
It's frustrating that we do that against like a team like the Dutch and not against Armenia
Not
and not
against
against
Greece,
Luxembourg, not against Greece. We're going to play them ourselves around these teams. Like, come on. Like, it's just the inconsistency. It's just like...
It's like we're trying to implement like Kenny ball in the style. Then game to game, it's like totally different.
Yeah, it's like, well, this isn't going to work today. It's like, well, why do you think it's going to work against anybody else?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are they good enough to actually break a team down, like any team?
Yeah.
Or we're not, And like, if you're good enough to break it, like an Armenia down doing that, which we weren't, then, you still do the same against Greece and you get better playing against better position. And that's how you should see the progression over the last couple of years. But instead, it's like, against big teams, we play differently. Against small teams, we just like, arrogantly go out there and just like get the ball turned over and concede from 30 yards. Like, oh, fuck again.
We didn't put someone there again.
It's like, it's just, there's no progression in it at all.
No.
And then this is the biggest thing. Like, it's the in-game changes.
Yes.
Like, they brought on Veghorst for Daily Blind, and then they brought on Grinders for Reefer.
Yeah.
And they switched to a back 4 instead of a back 3. And they moved Simmons more into the middle.
And it immediately worked.
And fucking like, Veghorst.
Yeah.
He couldn't kick snow for rope for Man United. Do you know what I mean? And then...
But that was the thing. He did play a lot for United. And it was the thing, like, he couldn't finish his dinner. But he was everywhere on the pitch. Like, he was a real hassle to deal with.
Yeah, I suppose Duffy, he's playing for Norwich these days, Duffy. Egan was carrying an injury. Like, they had Veghorst, Gakpo, and Malin, I think it was, like 3-on-3 for a long time. And they got the goal, and then we switched afterwards. It was like, you have to be able to...
You have to know when it's coming, not like be proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, we better stop that Veghorst guy. Just scored a goal against us. It's like... because like it wasn't like during the game, like it was half time. You see that's coming on. Yeah, you're standing right there, Kenny. Like, look at them. They're going on. They're going to change things here. They're bringing on a striker.
I'm sure they're just doing straight swaps all across the board at halftime.
It's the same with Tomiskas against Greece. Like just rampaging down that side, and Will Smallbone. Like,
someone stop him.
Smallbone just didn't have the athleticism to keep with him, and then it was like way after it was caused so much damage that we changed it. Like, I don't know. I think. Be fair to Kenny, a lot of bad luck.
Throughout his whole stint.
The whole stint, a lot of bad luck. Even up to last week, you had the Evan Ferguson injury. And look, this is the kind of thing, like for Trapattoni, he wouldn't play someone like Evan Ferguson.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a fucking clue who he is.
Exactly.
Even when he wasn't watching the games. I'll never forget the round of applause, the standing ovation that James McLean got in his debut. Because he was finally getting a cap.
Oh, someone new.
But, it was just like, Trapattoni was like, nah, he played for Sunderland. He's not Damien Duff. It's like, of course he's not Damien Duff. Don't say that. He's saying he's the best we have and he's young. Like, I mean, by the way, like he has a great delivery.
Oh,
McLean.
Like, he still got it.
Extremely left-footed. But like when he went off then, the free kick just like fell off a cliff. Like there was no threat. It was like Duffy up front. I was like, yeah, just stick it in. But
Which is what we did with McCarthy. Like, so what was the point of all this then?
it went full circle. You know,
Yeah.
we've completely abandoned. Kind of let's play it out back, and Duffy's up front.
Yeah,
It's like-
and it was like everyone. I think after the Dutch game, everyone was like, "All right, I'm fucked up of this now.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this."
I mean, it was exciting for a bit. You know, we did play good stuff, and there was young players being brought in, which is like it's like the skinny jeans. It went too skinny, way too skinny, and now we've swung all the way back. Like, okay, let's go baggy. Let's get as much space as we can. Give it a few years, lads. I'm like, these are just getting dirty.
Yeah,
My baggy jeans are dragging in the mud. We need to go back skinnier. I think we're just in that pendulum swing of getting to the right cut of jeans.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. The
straight
regular
leg,
straight leg.
straight leg, maybe a touch of bootleg, maybe flares if you're into that.
Yeah, yeah.
But we can change it. Depends on the day. Depends on the occasion. Change your kind of jeans, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be one or the
You don't
other.
want a wardrobe full of skinny.
Or baggy.
yeah.
You know, you want to be able to kind of, you know, change it ever so slightly, but know your own personal style. You know, you got to have your own kind of personality in the jeans as well. And that's what the Irish team is like. You know, I think everyone's like, if we lose Kenny, they're going to bring in Big Sam.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Here
We
go.
know what they're going to do. We have PTSD from the whole
Yes.
Trapattoni, Mark O'Neill,
The back to Mick McCarthy.
Mick McCarthy, and then even when you see Duffy going up front, it's like that's what they want.
yeah.
That's what the people want. They're gonna, if
The
once-
FAI's gotten in Kenny's ear.
But like it's just like when you see that, and Brian Kerr was on commentary saying, "Get it launched, you know, get Duffy up there," and people see that and they go, "Okay, right, maybe just give Kenny a few more months."
yeah.
Because they don't want to go back there, because no one wants
Yes.
to watch that.
Yeah, it was putrid, and as well, it didn't get results.
No, I mean,
It stopped. It did for a while, and then it stopped getting results.
yeah, I mean, when we got to the Euros with Matt O'Neill and that team, like, yeah, okay, it was basic enough stuff, but like, we had decent players.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, whatever style you play, it does come down to the players you have and the level they're playing at, and if they're playing regularly.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, against the Dutch, it was a championship team essentially.
yeah,
Like it's mostly championship players.
what people want is preferably both, but either get into tournaments so we get to go and be part of
Have a
this,
bit of crack.
have a bit of crack, and support the team abroad or
Yeah,
watch them on TV, or at least lose 3-2.
yeah.
Let's score goals.
Yeah.
You know, like it has to be something. Again, ideally, you'd be playing well. We all want to be the French. We can't be the French. We all want to be the French, but we can't be the French.
Yeah.
We are who we are, but like you look at teams like Scotland or, I mean, Croatia is different as well because they only have the one sport, so it's kind of hard to compare. But, you know, it's just, you look at different teams and you go, is this the ceiling for this? Maybe not. But I think the biggest thing pushing it is the fear of someone coming in and going,
All of these boys are never playing again.
well, what's the manager's job?
Yeah.
Like, particularly for an international manager, it's work what you have. And, like, to be fair to the different managers who were in, they looked at what we have and they said, well, this is not Barcelona.
I think I'm going to stick with Hendrick.
This is not Barcelona. So how are these lads going to score and how are these lads going to defend? Well, defending's easy. 11 men over here and that's it. Scoring, maybe get a few of the bigger lads up and we'll maybe knock it up. Like, we're not going to pass around. You don't have the years to you know, start a La Masia of Ireland and say, this is how we're going to play, lads. You can't buy in
That
players.
was supposed to be 20 years ago.
Yeah. When you're an international senior manager, you have what you have. So that's what people fear. They're going to look at the players and go, launch it. Get it launched. I mean, I'm here to get to this tour. And that's the thing with Kenny, bringing in the likes of Adamita and Troy Paris,
Bazunu even. and all
Bazunu.
that,
You know, he was not looking at that going, these guys are going to get me
yeah.
to
No,
the
he's
Euros.
like, these guys will get me to the World Cup 2028.
And they probably won't because
Yeah.
they're not very good. But I think if you bring in, I know we say Big Sam, but he's on the odds. He has on the odds.
I would hate that because he's proven lately that he's not even good at that anymore. The dinosaur football.
But he's going to say, right, my job is what? To the FAI. It's like, we want you to qualify for the World Cup.
Will do.
It's like, right, well, I'm going to assess
Yeah.
what I have and I'm going to get the best way to do it. And if he decides that that's going to be this, then that's what it's going to be. Because that's what he's paid to do. He's going to be paid a lot to do. He doesn't want to lose
He
his
doesn't give a
job. So
fuck about like
no, he's not there for
the
it.
Irish national teams like
Again,
style.
he's going to ask, what's my job? And
Yeah.
he'll say, qualify for the tournament. It's like, right, gotcha. You never mentioned, style of play.
yeah.
You hired me for my style of play.
Yeah.
So
we were mentioning there about Kenny, blooding in all these players, which a lot is made of, and like now, obviously, it didn't get the results. Probably a few years off the team that we have now being like, oh, this is actually something. But here is the level of players he's brought in. Do you want to hear the starting 11 for Mick McCarthy's final game?
okay, go on.
So in goal, Darren Randolph. At the back, Doherty, Duffy, Egan, Stevens. Midfield, Whelan and Hourihane. Then you had Brown, Hendrick, McLean, and McGoldrick up top.
Man, I think 5 of them were playing last night.
No, but like there is a lot, like a big chunk of that team who I think are still, they could still be in the squad, but they're not even considered anymore now.
They retired.
Well, maybe, that is.
Because like Doherty played.
Yes.
Duffy played.
Egan
played.
Was that Duffy's first game with Doherty? Or with Kenny back?
It's been a while. He was out of favour there at Brighton. And
Yeah.
He a serious drop of form. And then he's playing with Norwich now. That's why he was apparently picked over Omar and Delhi, who's also at Norwich, but who was at Norwich but not playing. He's now moved to Brentford for about 200 million, I think it was. Something around that figure. That's
Luton, isn't it?
No, I think it's Brentford.
Aye.
No, not Brentford. Nottingham Forest.
Oh, yes.
200 million.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Yeah, I was missing there. But yeah, like, who else did you say?
McGoldrick, Brown.
Who else?
Well, Whelan's gone, of course.
Yeah, Alan Brown started in the middle last night. Whelan's
So-
gone.
so
McLean
Kenny-
started as well.
So Kenny didn't even bring in a bunch of players.
I mean, yeah, last night was Bazuna in goal, Collins, Duffy, Egan, Doherty, Brown, Cullen, McLean, Ogbene, Knight, and Ida.
It's fucking, there's a lot
Like
of boys
the
though.
likes of Ogbene is good enough. He was going to get in any manager's team. I mean, Knight, he did kind of bring in, and Knight and Cullen were his two guys.
Yeah.
Knight, Cullen. I mean, the biggest ones were Troy Paris, who I'm not sure how his career's going anymore.
The last I saw of Troy Parrott, he was on a Mirror article hanging out with some Dublin gangsters.
Okay. Adam Ida was one he had under 21s.
Unfortunate injury to him as well.
Adam Ida was a lot of injuries. He had the ACL.
It was a big one. He was out for like a season. Yeah.
And again, I think Evan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Give him
He's
his
scoring
due.
in the fucking Premier League.
He's going to have to the Premier League. Yeah, there's
And
no
he's
way.
big.
Yeah, he's got everything that any manager in the past 20 years would have said, yeah, get him in. And then Bazunu, I mean, yeah, that was the one he blooded in as well, to be fair. He's blooded in a few, but I mean, this is the thing, like, you have who you have.
Yeah.
So a manager's going to come in and go, right, like, is there someone better than Duffy? And you go, well, no. All right, well, Duffy's a bit slow.
Yeah.
So he's not going to mark Mbappe, is he? You're going to need players around him. Like, when you see the group, like a qualifying group is France, Netherlands.
You go, okay, I need experienced big fellas here.
We're not going to go toe these guys, So I think it's been good in times. It was definitely exciting to have a manager say, I think these lads can play and I want to play. It's like, well, that sounds entertaining.
And even just the bit of hope of being like, we're looking to the future for once. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's nice.
Well, it's when you hit rock bottom, it's like, okay, we're not qualifying for the next two tournaments. Let's put that out there, But then when you get
But the third one, we definitely will.
but then when you get a fucking bit of results and there's a bit of, I remember that goal we scored against Serbia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that was a good goal. And then it's like, maybe we could do it, but we never put it all together. And yeah, I think there's just been times in games where you think, if Coleman and Gus Poyet are out tacting you, they're not exactly peps as apostles here. You know what I mean?
No,
they're just guys, better managers, better tactical managers. Maybe it's time for someone else to take on the torch.
Yes, and speaking of, the Examiner had an article today saying Stephen Kenny exit plan to be finalised as FAI, terrible headline, FAI approach for Carsley.
Oh.
Don't say I.
Aye.
For Lee Carsley, he was the English under-21s manager. The England under-21s team won, was it the Euros?
They won the Euros for the first time in 39 years.
And they were amazing during it. I think they barely conceded a
Didn't
goal.
get sort of goal. No goal.
That's insane.
Did not
and I
concede
think
a
they
goal.
also scored easily the most goals in the tournament.
Oh, they were savage. But I mean, again,
They have the talent though as well. It's tough to tell. Not that
and underage is whatever.
it's tough
To an
to tell
extent.
how much of that is down to Carsley's amazing coaching, or is it just that England really have their shit together in regards to youth teams and things like that?
yeah. I mean, Gibbs White was one of their stars.
Yeah.
So I mean, they weren't exactly amazing either.
Yeah, it wasn't
So no, you can't say I don't know how much that do. You never know. But Carsley, Did play for Ireland. He's made 40 caps for Ireland.
40 caps. That's a lot.
But I had to guess, Will, I'd say he's waiting for that England job.
I mean, yeah, I think you'd be mad not to.
Although, back to the Gene analogy, Will. Once England crash out of this next tournament, having not won it, despite having a ridiculous team and players who should have gone, who didn't get to go, it was like, you know what, get Southgate. What's he ever done? Get him out. Get him out. They want to swing back.
Yeah.
He's the skinny jeans right now. They're trying to swing to baggy. Lee Carsley is just another manager who's an FA
That's
guy.
regular jeans.
Well, that's basically like it's not stretch skinny, but it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, he's been a bit successful, but like, where's he managed in the Premier League?
Yeah.
What's he done in the game?
Yeah, and
He's too similar.
Even if he does get the England job, he is under pressure. I think first bad result. This guy's never done anything.
Yeah.
We should have got Pep.
They're going to want somebody who's high profile.
Yeah, because it's very rare to have a team or a squad this good. They're going to want never mind the best available national team manager. We need the best manager in the world because we will win things.
They want I could see them going for like Ancelotti.
Yeah, and Ancelotti, you're
like the complete opposite of Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
like decorated club manager, foreign. You know, Lee Carsley's too slimmer.
Yeah, and it's, you know what it is as well? It's boring.
It's boring.
It's boring.
Now, unless they win it, and then he goes, you know what? I've done my best.
This is perfect, lads. What do you have planned for us next? Lee Carsley sounds good.
Lee Carsley, more the same. Pretty good, you know. But I don't think they will do that. And has that ever happened?
They have a succession plan? No. In international football.
If he was to win the Euros, and he's only a young man. It's not like he's in his 70s, like, I can't handle the stress, you know. He's like, well, I'm staying off the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've earned that, FA. Like, I guess so, Gareth. You know what I mean? So I don't see a situation where Lee Carsley would get the job, but I think he's going to wait and see. It's that you never know.
He doesn't want to take the Ireland job, and then that week Gareth Southgate is sacked. He goes, fuck. That could have been me.
That could have been me. You know?
And now I'll never know.
Yeah, and like again, it's like, yeah, they might want Pep, but they mightn't want it.
Yeah.
So they might have to give it to Lee Carsley.
Yes.
You know? So I think if I was in his corner, I'm saying, let's give it a few months there. The Ireland job will be there.
Yeah, don't worry.
They're not getting Ancelotti either, okay?
Yeah.
I'll say that right now.
I think you'd be pretty safe to take the England job or wait it out, and you will eventually be Irish manager.
You can take the Irish manager job, whatever you want.
Yeah. Trust me, the next guy is not going to work out either.
Well, let's wait till Evan Ferguson is 25, then we'll see, okay? Yeah. See if he's gone down the path of Wayne Rooney or Michael Owen, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's a bit disrespectful for Stephen Kenny, but I think it's not that it hasn't worked. It's over, I think. He's reached the end of the rope here. He ran out of rope, I think is the saying, actually. It was just,
he ran out of jean.
He ran out of thread. Ran out of sweet blue jean.
The wardrobe is empty.
Yeah, I always lose track of the analogy. It starts off well, and then I try to overdo it. I'm like, and that's why Levi's is the next big thing. Yeah, I don't think it's been bad, and I say, you know, the luck obviously is whatever.
Yeah,
and he did bring people back excited about the Irish team.
Oh yeah,
but maybe I just want someone to come in to not just go back to go, you know what, these guys can't play. You want me to qualify? This is what we're going to do.
I would take more of the same, but a bit more tactical to someone like a little bit more experienced, I think.
Yeah, just if you could maybe...
I'm not asking to fucking win the World Cup.
No, I just want you to beat fucking Luxembourg
if
comfortably.
If we can come third in a group, that'd be amazing. Comfortably third would be great.
Yeah, we need to push on from here.
Yes, exactly.
So it's basically the same thing for Mick McCarthy, but there is some young...
Well, now, that's also not taking into account the broader squad.
Yeah, I'll say, Will Smallbone.
Yeah.
You know? Was he anywhere near a Mick McCarthy team? I don't know. Yeah, I think... Yeah. Look, the expectations weren't high, but it's still below. It's still below where we want to be. Like, yeah, in theory, we could beat the Greeks. We could beat the Netherlands again, and we could maybe get up to third, but like we're not going to qualify for this Euros.
No, I think there is a very, very slight chance, but come on.
Do you think we should let him see it out? Because, you know...
Well, I do, because... I mean, you're not going to get a manager before the next two games. And then, like, well, what's the point? You're just going to get, like, some guy in for 2 weeks. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's earned it as well. Again, it hasn't been a total disaster. It's just it's done. It's
yeah, well,
it's reached the end.
but
like.
it's. I think everyone's at that done stage now. You give 2 more games of like bad losses.
Yeah, that's
then
true.
like, all right, now I'm getting annoyed.
Now I'm pissed. Now your career's over.
Now I'm going to start booing.
yeah.
You know, is it now the time to go? Listen, let's just cut loose rather than like prolonging this because it's only going to get worse from here.
But who are the next two? Get Greece and Gibraltar, is it?
Netherlands again, is it?
Oh god! Well, if it's Netherlands again, get them out.
I'm very sure we have the Netherlands in Amsterdam.
Oh
Still.
no! I'll look it up.
We played the French twice. We've played Netherlands, we've played Greece, and we've played Gibraltar. So, yeah, the next game is
Greece, Gibraltar, Netherlands is the next 3 games in October and then November.
beat Greece at home.
Easy.
Gibraltar,
Gibraltar away, tough game. It's in an airport.
tough place to go.
Yeah.
Tough place to get to. Yeah, okay. That's be positive, right? 3 points against Greeks.
Yeah.
Done.
We couldn't do it.
Well, that was in their home patch.
That's true. It's like 50 degrees as well.
I don't think it was as hot as Paris, but they were expected to be hotter. That's when they did the warm weather training.
Yeah.
Then we played Gibraltar, 3 points, 6 points now.
You should be beating Gibraltar
We beat Netherlands
away.
in Amsterdam. No, we're losing that game 100%. So 6 points plus the 3 points against Gibraltar already. That's 9 points.
You don't want to muddy the waters of keeping Kenny on, and then he wins the next 2 games, and you go, maybe we should keep him.
It's all come together.
Yeah. Maybe it is good to get someone in. See, I can't imagine they'll have someone in for October,
Yeah.
like a permanent manager. I'm sure they'll have somebody lined up.
Would you like Lee Carsey if you took it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think that's the most. That makes sense, and I think it's good to reward fucking Irish coaches who do things well. Like, you fucking won an under 21s Euros. Give them a go.
Not Roy
Rather
Keane.
than-
No.
I'd hate Roy Keane. I would fucking hate Roy Keane.
Oh, Robbie Keane.
Even worse.
He's starting with Tel Aviv, Will. He's doing good things in Israel.
I genuinely, I think, because I've seen a good few people saying get Roy Keane in. Could you imagine the fucking circus that'd bring?
He wouldn't want it.
I don't think so either. And if he would, he very quickly would not want it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's not someone who responds well to the media questioning him.
Well, he hates mediocrity
Yes.
and he hates mistakes.
Yeah. And he hates, what else does he hate that we have lots of?
Red tape.
Yeah. Waiting. Not getting a result.
Not things being like at the top of the standards, I guess.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think might marry well with the FAI and
Yes.
Ireland and the players we have. But yeah, I don't think that's. But that's I think what we're looking at. Like, what are the odds there? We have
I'll pull him up here.
Lee Carsley is the
Lee Carsey
favourite.
is the favourite.
But again, it's just because I think he's Irish and he has won a tournament, and it's like, well, you know,
And he has a job, but it's an under 21s job. You could probably
well,
prize
England said
money.
they won't stand his way.
They won't stand.
The
it.
FA said they won't stand his way if an opportunity comes knocking.
Yeah, so like I think it makes the most sense, but so the rest of the odds, and again, I don't know how much this really means. The odds,
Yeah.
like it's from Paddy Power. So Lee Carsey's favourite. Then second is Chris Houghton, 11-2. Chris
Okay.
Houghton, Chris Houghton. How do you pronounce that?
I've heard both ways.
Heard it both ways. Third is Neil Lennon at 9-1.
Oh yeah, Celtic will.
Celtic was also royally kicked out of Celtic.
Who wasn't? You know.
Yeah. Fourth is Kieran McKenna, who is former United youth coach,
Mhm.
and now he's managing Ipswich, I think, and doing really well at them. That'd be a mad appointment.
Too close to Kenny.
Because-
He's skinny jeans.
yeah. Then it's Roy Keane at 10-1, Steve Bruce 11-1. Do you want to see if he's like
Steve Bruce?
Now, Steve Bruce would be the worst.
That would be good. I'd like Steve Bruce because it would
It'd be good crack.
tell you what, like he was so broken after Newcastle,
Yeah.
you know, and now it would just be I don't know why he would take this job on.
That'd be insane. Same odds as Steve Bruce is John O'Shea, who I don't even think manages anyone.
Oh shit, is he on the management staff currently?
I think he's a coach, maybe, or something like that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's
I could see him being the interim.
he's assistant manager because I saw who was it? Coleman was shake his hands as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you get on? And then he shook Kane's like, hello.
Who are you?
Charles Shea was the manager.
So I could see him being the interim manager if Kenny is let go. Someone like
But
that.
do you leave with the whole management team? Leave with them?
See, I don't know, like, because I'm sure John O'Shea wants to manage Ireland, so I don't know how loyal he'd be to Stephen Kenny then. Like,
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
yeah, and then as the list goes on, they get weirder and weirder. Mick McCarthy for a third.
Never go back again.
Eddie Howe at 66-1.
Eddie Howe leave Newcastle. Why they even? Who was betting on that?
Here's one that I would not be surprised. Phil Neville.
No.
Well, have no fear because he is the same odds as Jose Mourinho and Gareth Southgate.
Okay, well, that's just the joke bets there at the end. Yeah. Well, breaking news from the past, Will. England 3, Scotland 1. Foden, Bellingham and Kane with the goals, but Harry Maguire gets one back for England.
On the score sheet.
Ah, that poor man.
I mean,
If anybody saw that goal, either right now, you can look it up, or if you're watching live, if you saw live, the way the Scotland fans jeered.
yeah, they weren't even happy about scoring.
Like they were down 2-1. I mean, it's a friendly. It's not anything important, so whatever. But it's like England, so it's like it's a grudge match.
Yeah.
Like 2-1, you're kind of back in the game in theory. I haven't watched the game, but I'm assuming England are infinitely better because they scored again after that to make it 3-1.
Yeah.
That goes to 2-1. The thought isn't like, go on, get the ball back at the pitch. Like, there he is, doing the thing, being a bad player. I mean, Harry Maguire's face afterwards, you just have to
That's the last thing he needs.
we're pushing this man at the edge.
He should not be playing for the good of his own health.
Take him off the front lines.
Yeah. Give him a few weeks off.
Yeah. No,
Send him to Germany or Spain or something.
I mean, they're playing Gay as a centre back to try to blood in Gay just to get Maguire out there, It's not like they got Lewis Duncan Gay as the starting centre backs, but Maguire comes on to score an own goal. I mean, you forget the phasing out process has to be stepped up.
You gotta step. It's funny as well because Southgate's been getting flack for how he's been treating Phil Foden, not playing him in certain positions because Pep doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it at club levels. Why do you do it here? Harry Maguire doesn't play at all at club level. He's fifth choice.
Yeah, no, he was playing Henderson. I'll Fax, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
It's 32-year-old Jordan Henderson in the middle. I mean, are you bringing him to this Euros?
Even for
Experience,
but also he's had a rough few weeks of it PR-wise. I'd be keeping him out of my squad for a bit, I think.
Yeah.
You don't need any of those questions coming at you.
I mean, it's an easy one to drop. But so everyone's saying you got the Matador, Jude Bellingham,
who's ripping it up at Real
Madrid like a duck to water over there.
Yeah.
Then you got Rice, and then you got Foden. That's the midfielder.
The perfect three.
He's playing Foden on the wing. He did score on the wing in a friendly against Scotland, so read into that what you will.
Yeah, did not score against Ukraine. They drew that game.
Yeah, which was a competitive game.
Yes, the important one.
But yeah, he said, why aren't you playing Foden in the middle? And said, well, Pep doesn't play him. So I guess Pep's an idiot too, is he? He's like, no one said you're an idiot, Gareth.
You're projecting here.
Don't put words in my mouth. So then for this game, he decided, well, I'll show you. I'll put Callum Phillips. Yeah. I guess the defense is
my other boy,
the other Pep player, but Pep doesn't play him at all. In fact, he insults him. So his logic is kind of falling down here.
Yeah, and it has come out that, funnily enough, after the next Euros, that's when they're like, okay, time to get rid of Southgate. I think his contract is up then.
Yeah.
And they're looking to get Pep in.
Oh no, Pep in.
Did you see that?
Team?
Yeah. That's like their dream appointment, but I can't imagine he'd do that. But fuck me, that'd be bad for us.
I mean, that'd be World Cup winning.
Oh yeah, you'd fucking tear it up. And like with all those players, normally in international, it's like, oh, they don't know the style.
Yeah.
All of those players are like the best players in the world. They'll pick that up really quick.
They have a really good squad.
Yeah.
I would say them and the French probably have the best squads. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're grand in their qualifying grouping, aren't they? They have.
Oh yeah, I think so. Not as grand as Scotland are. Did you see their group?
They're crushing, are they?
They've got 15 points. They've won all 5 games, drew none, lost none. And Scott McTominay is currently the Euros qualifiers top scorer.
Really?
Yeah, he's like 6 goals.
Jesus. Well, I mean, he has something to prove. He's trying to get a move, They beat Denmark 2-0. They beat Moldova 2-0. They beat the Faroe Islands 1-0. They beat Israel 1-0. Or they beat Israel 3-2. They beat Austria 1-0. They beat Moldova 1-0. And they lost to Denmark 2-0. beat the Faroes 4-0. I mean, this is the kind of group. These are what we would say at the start of the tournament. If we were in this group, like
That's about the results we'd get.
We beat them 1-0, 2-0, but then, under Kenny, we've drawn those games or we've lost those games. And then the big games, we're like, we could beat Denmark away. It's like, no, you won't.
Maybe years ago, yeah.
But like that's what Scotland are doing. So I guess that's the comparison between us and Scotland. But I mean, it's fair, like that's the kind of level that we should be striving for.
This type of thing we should be doing.
That is the kind
winning.
That's the kind of stuff we should be doing. We'll get these results. There's no reason we shouldn't be. Other international news, international teams.
Yes,
the Germans. I know they broke their alliance with the Japanese a long time ago now, but it seems to still annoy the Japanese because they love giving them a beating.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Achilles heel? The Germans' Achilles heel would be the Japanese.
What a twist!
What a twist! They lost, convincingly beaten by the Japanese. I feel bad for Pascal Gross, Will, because first call up at 32, he comes on 2-1. They can see it again.
Oh no!
No, I'm not saying it's his fault, but I remember clearly before the 2018 World Cup, he was playing for Brighton. He was 26, and he had the season of his life. And he's like, I'm making this German team. This is when they had all the midfielders, the best midfielders, like Toni Kroos and Ozil and Schweinsteiger. And it was like, no chance. He didn't make the team then. And he had a bit of a drop off. And now, like, I'd say he might thought the chance was gone.
Yeah.
And he's coming into the worst German side in the last 20 years, probably.
It's the amazing Germany teams are such a thing of the past now. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw Germany. It was like, wow, they were good.
10 years ago, 2014.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. They were so efficient.
They were so, like, Schweinsteiger was the heart of that team. But, like, they always had trouble with the striker. Like, Klose was, like, when he was, like, 33, they're like, well, there's no one else.
Yeah.
And he went on, like, close to 40, still knocking about. Muller is a strange...
kind of
not number 10, but like kind of midfield, but then he scores goals sometimes. But the goals have really dried up in the last 5 or 6 years. Maybe he's lost a bit of pace. I don't know, to be honest. I don't watch enough of Bayern Munich to know what his story is. But he got dropped by the last guy, Jogi Löw. Him and Hummels got dropped, and then
it caused the whole scene.
It was like, why are you dropping our most experienced best players? We're going through a bad period here. He was trying to move it on the team.
Yeah,
Hansi Flick brings him back in. Muller's still playing, off the bench there, but I mean, the team it's lacking a striker. I mean, our boy Timo.
Not the guy.
Not that guy.
No.
I don't think he was even playing. I don't think he was on the squad even. That said, Will, breaking news from the past.
Oh.
Germany 2, France 1. Muller on the score sheet. Fuck, after 4 minutes. How did he know?
Listening.
He was listening in
France.
We're just talking about France.
It's the most devastating breaking news from the past this podcast has ever experienced.
God, is that a friendly? What is that?
That literally got rid of everything we spoke about for the last 50 minutes.
It was a second team, Will. It was a France second team. Mike Mangan in goal. Magic Mike.
Yep.
Theo Hernandez. William Saliba. Nobody's.
Yeah.
Pavard at the back. Tabido. Tuchemeni, Camavinga. Like,
this team would win a Champions League.
I think they play for some bullshit Spanish team, those two. Rabiot, I don't know, he's up to K. Coleman, ever heard of him?
Never.
I don't think he's won much. Griezmann and Koulibaly up front. So
no Mbappe.
No Mbappe, no Dembele. Second stringers, really. Koundé, Dembele, Thuram, and Fofana came on, but yeah. Basically, that was our second team. I mean, Pascal Gross came on, got booked.
Yeah.
So I was right about that.
Yeah.
I still feel sorry for Pascal Gross.
Back.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah.
Who's even managing them?
Who is their manager? Let me see. Friendly against France. Well, look, they need a response.
Yeah, that's true.
H-Wolf.
Cool name.
No, that's probably how he got the job.
First name on the CVs they saw. There's just something sticking out about this guy.
Yeah, the paper, it's the same team. Sule, Rudiger, Gundogan, Kahn, Sané, Ritz, Gnabry, and Muller up front. Hey, you know what? If it's broke, don't fix it. That's what they say. Well, look, I guess maybe that was the whole thing. It was a fuck you flick game.
Yeah.
We could beat France without you. So I'm sure he's delighted to look at that.
I would say he's not watching.
You still a Patriot, Will? Well, look, international break is always interesting.
It's very easy to keep track of.
It's easy to get a good narrative spun.
Again, these teams only play together like 15 times a year. It's like, so it's all over the place every time.
The worst thing is it's too late to cut any of that because we have to put this out, so we got to keep all that in. Breaking news of the past, another successful segment.
Why did we introduce the segment which can literally prove everything we said wrong?
We rarely talk about a team that's playing right now. I didn't even know they were playing. I was looking it up and I was like, oh, hang on. Full time, you say? 2-1.
That is amazing.
Well, look, that's done. But we did have some other news, I suppose. We mentioned Pogba earlier on the show. Our millennial poster boy, Paul Pogba.
He's just like us.
The other one, who's the other one, Will? Our millennial poster boy.
Neymar.
Yes. Neymar Jr.
Yes.
Honestly,
not his dad.
I remember when he signed for Neymar, or not signed, he signed for Barcelona and it was Neymar Jr. on the back. It's like, that's a red flag. I'm not mistaking you for Neymar. Are you I thought you were your dad.
Yeah.
He was way better than you. Like, yeah, no, he wasn't. Like, that's something similar to Pogba. The family situation is like, it's always there. I saw a tweet.
His dad's his agent, isn't he?
His dad's his agent. But like,
put the junior on.
Just so people know that I'm also called
me,
Neymar.
Me.
Yeah, I think... I saw a tweet or an X, I suppose. What do I call it? A post?
A post. You saw a post on X.
I saw a post on X.
They never figured out the branding.
I feel like I'm a drug dealer.
Yeah. Speaking of, did you see they've gotten rid of quote tweets now?
It's reposting.
No, so it's because people would often, Elon Musk would say something and then he'd get cooked in the quote tweets, you know that thing? So now you can't see them anymore.
What?
You have to click it and then it says view post engagements and then it says, do you want to see the retweets or the comments or the quote? It's like a whole ordeal to get into.
That's fragile, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of stuff I would do if I owned X. I saw a post on X and it was saying, after 2015 Champions League final, if I told you that Neymar wouldn't win another Champions League, wouldn't come close to winning Ballon d'Or.
Not even a sniff of it.
Wouldn't win the World Cup of Brazil and be semi-retired, a little bit disrespectful, I suppose, at age 31.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'd imagine that. If I was to imagine that, I would say he probably had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Which is kind of true.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was 2017 he moved from Barcelona, like 2 years after the...
Totally just turned the footballing transfer world. It's never recovered since.
It's just been a domino effect from there. Like there's...
It's chaos. Again, there was a 90 million transfer we were talking about earlier. I'd never even heard of it.
Doesn't even spike on the radar.
No.
On deadline day. 100 million signing
I didn't see here we go for it.
Colin Wani to PSG for over 100 million. Who cares? You know? But yeah, I mean... I think the first year was when he joined PSG. That's where that meme came from. Or was the first year?
It was the second year?
The first year lost to Real Madrid in the last 16 and he was injured.
Yeah.
The second year then.
That was the United game.
That was United.
Where he could not believe what was happening.
With the crucifix earring.
Yeah.
And he's
his denim jacket and cap.
He's looking back and forth, and then that was the meme.
Yeah.
And once they 2 years in a row, last 16, they spent, and they had Mbappe at that point as well, and Cavani. They had like a serious team. Neymar kept getting injured in the knockout, and then the story was every year's injured.
Yeah.
Like it was only 2017, or I think it was the summer 2017, so it was 2018, 2019, 2020. Then they got to the final. That was the COVID year, obviously. His semi-final performance, that was his like virtuoso performance.
Yeah.
But like, he had injuries throughout the rest of the Champions League campaigns, not always in the knockout stages, but like he never got the injuries under control.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's just his contemporaries are like, you know, Benzema, Lewandowski, like I guess Messi, Ronaldo, who just like swore.
They're in the cryo chamber.
Yeah,
all day.
Suarez as well.
Yeah.
He just like churned out these Champions League and league winning performances well into their like late 20s and 30s.
Would definitely play very hurt.
100%. Like I see one chance.
Yeah.
You know. Whereas Neymar,
unless he won a World Cup, he couldn't even run anymore.
Whereas like I think Neymar didn't care as much. Now this is obviously speculation, but you got the sense that he wasn't as driven as them. Once he won the Champions League at like 23, he's like, well, I've done it now.
Yeah, game over.
All I have to do now is just he had played a couple more years at at Barcelona. They didn't win the Champions League again. I think they won the league one more time after that. But then it was like, right, how do I leverage my own personal fame into more and more money?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what his goal was. That was like, I remember the stories like he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, so I was going to PSG.
Yeah.
And Messi had this like conversation with him, like, if you want to win the Ballon d'Or, I'll win you the Ballon d'Or, Barcelona. And he was like, what are you talking about?
The Ballon what?
don't believe everything you read, Messi. You know, I couldn't care less about that. I'm just trying to enrich myself and my family. And I think the dad and all the hangers on, maybe.
There's always been that ongoing lawsuit with Barca as well over like the transfer. And there's like,
I was a dodgy transfer, there's third parties involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's always been his MO, has been like
money.
just, you know, the generational wealth. He's
Yeah.
been on that long before Saudi Arabia were telling people that this could solve all your future kids' problems.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like, you know, we grew up watching him on YouTube.
Yeah.
That clip of him at Santos, and then to
Despite
see him
the
at Barcelona, and they're like, there was something at Barcelona was like, that's he's done it. Like, you know what I mean? He's always going to be like, in terms of him versus say Lewandowski, he's way more famous.
Oh,
way,
yeah.
You say Neymar, everyone knows he is. Lewandowski, like the casual fan may not even know. Like, despite him being way more obsessed, way more consistent, it's like everyone knows, you know, about Neymar going to PSG and going to Saudi Arabia, whereas people might not know that he's gone to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Lewandowski, that is. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just like, Lewandowski's about scoring goals and like staying fit. And
If you ask the person on the street to name 5 footballers, they might
Yes.
name like Pele and stuff, but Neymar would probably be one of them.
Messi, Pele,
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo,
Beckham.
Beckham. It's the Beckham model.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we have a lot more exposure now to things, and certainly in the US, the game's growing a lot more there.
Yeah.
So like the way that Beckham could get away with kind of alluding to him being himself being the best player in the world, and then kind of believing it, you wouldn't be able to do that now.
No.
Because there's too much information out there, and I guess social media and all that. But like Neymar, if he was in 2003,
He's in the MLS.
everyone in the US would have thought he was the best player in the world.
He's the new Pele.
Because I would have seen the clips, and I
Yeah.
would have seen, look at all the stuff he does. He's the best player in the world. But it didn't quite work because you had Messi and Ronaldo. I was like, well, they're the best.
Yeah.
Like, what's your
They're so much better.
what's your thing, you know? And then you had like one or two like great performances in the Champions League every year, but playing in France, you're not seeing them.
You're not seeing him week to week. Yeah.
But again, like, he didn't care.
Yeah. It was never, you never heard like rumors of like, he's desperate to get out of PSG.
Not once. Not once. He's desperate for more money at PSG, perhaps. But like, even this one's like, right, 31, I've done the PSG thing, one more crack at Champions League.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck
No.
that.
Not a chance. Go back to Barcelona, maybe? No. I'm not going there. I'm going to Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia. Did you see Saudi Arabia flew him over to Saudi Arabia in a like Boeing 747
Yeah.
with just him on board?
I saw, before they banned them, I saw the repost saying, I'm glad I'm clearing the jam out of my jar this evening to make sure that the bin men could put it in the right box.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's what he wants.
that's what he cares about. You know what I mean? So I think it's like, is his career being a failure? It's like, I don't know. And the reason I'm talking about him is because he just broke Pele's record as the most.
Which is funny. Like,
Somebody's ever done it for Brazil, according to you, Will.
yeah. But that's what I mean, because
Yes.
that is the opinion I have of him, is that like, he kind of is an arse. And he's like, no, he's the top scorer in Brazil's history.
In Brazil's history. But you look at him and compare him to someone like Benzema or like, we're Messi, Ronaldo. Like, you don't have to go even that far up. It's like Luis Suarez. Like,
Yeah.
who got more out of the career, Luis Suarez or Neymar?
Yeah.
Like, Neymar, I think, is much, much more talented than Luis Suarez is.
Yeah.
But there's no argument that Luis Suarez got way more of what he had than Neymar.
Suarez won a La Liga like 2 years ago.
With Atletico Madrid,
Yeah.
the third team in like, Neymar's never doing that. Like,
No.
he's never, being part of a team like that just grinds out victories.
Yeah.
While being the striker and scoring goals as well, not just like chopping lads down. Like,
Oh, yeah.
anybody can do that. You know what I mean? But like, it's just, he doesn't have that grit and that determination, because that's not really, I think, since 2017, he's been interested. Like,
Yeah.
I did the Champions League thing. I've had unbelievable performances. Check my highlight reel. You know, I'm not. There's nothing else to add that highlight reel. You know,
Yeah, the skills and tricks video is already 12 minutes long.
you can't go much better than that. I think he would like to win a World Cup.
Yeah.
If you win the World Cup, then you're World Cup winner. No one can say anything.
You're the best, yeah.
You know, but I don't think he probably has a regret in the world.
No. Someone who, not that he would have a regret, but something he probably wishes someone else didn't do is, do you know who has them tattooed on their back? Who we talk about a lot.
Oh,
Richarlison has Neymar's face on his back. Did you see the image of Richarlison knocking about after he got subbed off after having a terrible game?
Yeah.
Literally tears in his eyes, like welling up. The caption was, Richarlison's going through the toughest time of his life.
Yeah, well, it was him up front, and it was Neymar behind him, Rodrigo, Rafinha, and Neymar behind Richarlison up front. They'd all scored in a 5-1 Bolivia, and he was taken off.
Yeah.
And he was literally in tears because of Mikel Antonio.
Because literally of Mikel Antonio and Callum Wilson, not just them, but just that general thing of being like, ha ha ha, he hasn't scored in a long time.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
Well, it's football is brutal.
Yeah, football is brutal.
Like he was at Watford, he's like 2021 at Watford, and he was scoring goals. And like it's a lot of players score goals at Watford. They get moves. You got to move to Everton. He scored goals there too at times, but
and it seemed like they loved Richarlison and Everton. Like he was their boy.
He was good, but like it's just when you're at Tottenham, and this is not like when you're at Man United or when you're at Barcelona.
Yeah,
that spotlight's on you. But like when you're at Tottenham, and you do have aspirations of even top 4, it's like you haven't scored in 3 games.
Yeah,
and last year you kept scoring and getting booked,
yeah,
taking a shirt off, and getting goals allowed. Like I mean, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And now he goes back to Brazil with that kind of pressure on him. Whereas before,
at the World Cup,
it was grand because he was behind Harry Kane. It was like, yeah, well, no one's worried about me, so I can just play what I want.
Yeah.
Like, it is a different pressure being the main man.
Yeah.
And like, he's up front against Bolivia. I didn't watch the game. I can guarantee he was desperately trying to score and fluffing it because he was trying too hard.
Yeah.
While the rest of them like, I'm Neymar, I've nothing to prove.
Yeah, it's Bolivia.
Not in my mind anyways, but, But so I do feel bad for Richarlison, but I think it comes with the pressure. It comes if you want to be the main man at a club like Tottenham, at top 6 or looking for Champions League. This is the kind of pressure that comes with it. And maybe he's not built for it. Unfortunately, I would love to see him turn around, mainly because of the abuse he's been getting. But like, it could be a possibility where he doesn't thrive well under this pressure.
He's someone who could genuinely do the move back to Everton.
Oh no, never. That's the biggest never go back ever. Not now. But yeah, I mean, I guess we got Premier League this weekend.
We're back, yeah.
Coming up.
So coming up this weekend in the Premier League is a game I'm very much dreading. Man United versus Brighton.
Oh
no. I have a good idea of how that one will turn out.
Oh yeah, well, how will this will?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of tricky fixtures coming up, right? Man City have obviously started pretty well.
Yeah.
Have you seen their fixtures coming up?
No.
I mean, look, if they win this, they have the whole league won.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have played half the games at this point as well. But nevertheless, right? So they have West Ham away, right?
Tough.
No, not these. It's the form they're in. Then they have Nottingham Forest at home, which is grand. Then Wolves away, right? They'll probably win those games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it gets tricky. Arsenal away.
Ooh.
Brighton at home.
Oh.
Man United away.
Oh.
Bournemouth at home.
Well.
Chelsea away.
Oh.
Liverpool at home.
Oh.
Spurs at home.
God, oh, what the fuck?
So that's all the big contenders
in a row,
kind of back to back with like one respite. All you need is one injury or suspension in there.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, that would bring them up to
10
game week 14.
Yeah.
So if they win all those games, I think you'll see the bookies paying out on them.
Yeah. They'll be miles clear then. They'll be at least 3 points clear of every other team in the top 6.
A tricky fixture list coming up. Like, ideally, you want to play Man United, Bournemouth, Wolves, Arsenal, Luton, West Ham, Aston Villa, Liverpool. You want to space it out. In between your Champions League. If you get them all in a run like that, and there will be Champions League in the middle of that as well.
Yeah.
I know the big squad all the rest of it, but I'm telling you, Arsenal,
weird year.
A weird year.
I don't know. I will have to see how Arsenal get on with Champions League as well.
Yeah, no, look. I think
although their group isn't bad.
It is, but it's not even the group. It's the games. It's the playing of the games.
Traveling,
it's the traveling. It's the late nights, early mornings. Hotel food, loose women, cheap
We've all
beer.
been there.
Who hasn't been away on a Champions League hotel room? We all know what goes on.
Honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama.
This is a total, shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was balls off yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all
Plenty
the
of
time.
time, no problem.